Hey everybody, I'm back to share what I've done on my journal. I haven't done a whole lot. I have been busy on other things I had to take care of, and then out in the yard in the pretty sunshine and the last few days, except for today. Today is kind of cool out here, kind of not drizzly, but gloomy looking day. So on my journal, I have did a few things since the last video on the cover. I wanted to share real quick. I can't remember exactly. On the cover, we folded it in half, but I needed to make the journal have like a little spine. So, we folded it in half and did scored it at 4.5. Well, we need to make 2 additional score marks. You're going to score on each side of that half mark, that 4.5, where you score down the middle. You're going to score at 4 1/8 and 4 7/8. And that's going to give it its little spine like this. And you'll sew your signature in that middle spine right there. And we'll punch holes later. I'm not ready for all that. But as you see, I don't remember if I had covered it yet. But I cut my pattern paper for this at 8.5 by 9.5. So that way then I didn't glue it on yet, but I wanted it to fold over the sheet that I put on the inside of the cover. So the inside of the cover, I cut it exactly the size of the cardboard cover, chipboard cover. Let's see, and that's going to measure 9 by 8 1/4. That's what I cut this music paper at. And then the floral paper, I cut at 8.5 by 9.5. That way I could fold over the music paper and it looked like this. So let me write that down. Let's see. Pattern paper. The cover is actually 8 by 9. 8 1/4. I'm sorry, 8 1/4. 8 1/4 by 9. And all mine come out different sizes. I just kind of play around with it. So, anyways, that's what the cover is like. And so you get that little spine. So when you do, it allows for your book to expand a little bit when you add your stuff inside. So, and I only there is 30 sheets. I took 30 sheets and fold 30 sheets I took and measured 8.5. If I get that half out of my mouth, 8 by 8. You don't want to get no bigger than 8 by 8. And then fold them in half at 4. And then that fits perfect. See, it fits perfect. Now you can have it smaller, some of your pages smaller than 8 by 8, just to give it some interest inside when you're flipping through the pages. So, I'm going to show you what I did. This is a little different. I thought, well, this could be a creative journal. This could be where I get my ideas, card ideas, how to decorate things and all. So I'm going to show you what I did. I had some old magazines, old Stampin' Up! Catalogs that I took apart, and some of my favorite products from I think last year. Anyway, we're going to start out this. This is 30 sheets folded in half, so it makes 60 sheets. And I added a little vellum piece at the end, so it actually made 31 sheets, which made 62 pages you'll flip through, if that makes sense. So see, we did our coffee dyed paper. We did our pattern paper from the pressed petals. And see, this sheet right here is a 8.5 by 11 cut in half. Let's see. At 6, and it should still be 11. No, I'm sorry, 6 by 8. So this is a 6 by 8, you know, so see, it don't have to be an 8 by 8 size. But then I used, look at this, y'all all remember this celebration brochure with the beautiful botanical butterflies? I loved how it gives me little ideas how to use stuff and just different card designs and all. So I was like, oh, that's a great idea. And you know, when you use in your junk journals, you can always cover this up. It's just a page you can just add on top to and build on top to, and then, you know, so, but in the meantime, you can look at it for inspiration. And then this was, I love that little rooster. So we got some line paper, coffee dyed, another sheet of the collection of that pressed petals. That's a piece of the Whisper White cardstock, coffee dyed. And then look at that. I was like, well, that'd be cool. That's part of one of those images out of the celebration. So now that's even something we can color. I took out of the book. See, I just took the page and folded it in half. And I loved that. So here's some more of the paper. So this is just to give you some ideas. I'm hoping this thing is still live. Okay, this is just to give you some ideas and all, how to, what kind of pages to put in here. And there's the front of that celebration brochure for some inspiration. And you know, you always you can build your card like this, but put in product that you have now. So that's what I'm saying. It gives you, what's my word? I can't think of the word I'm trying to think of. Kind of a guide how to place your items. And what do they call those? I don't know. Plan, a grid, or whatever. But you can take, like, if you have some kind of other object you want to place around your sentiment, you know, this just kind of gives you an idea, a plan how to build a card. So that's why I put it in there. I was like, oh, I like that, and I love the colors too. So, and see, you can totally cover all this up with other things, you know. So I thought that was a pretty cool idea. And then look, you can also take your paper and make it a little bigger, but then fold it over, and then you have some little flips that you can add stuff to, sew stuff to before you put. I'm going to have this book thing sewed to it and everything before I ever do my stitching in the cover, before I adhere it to the cover. I'm going to sew it with the pamphlet stitch to the cover. But yeah, I thought that was a cute idea there. And then some more pages. I love how these were some pages that whenever my printer wasn't printing right, and I was trying to print out PayPal things to mail out packages, and it didn't come out right, and you see it kind of just left some black. I thought that was pretty cool, so I just coffee dyed it, and you can't read any information on it, so hey, it worked out. See, it's just partially printed. Then here was a card that I thought was pretty that I had, that I made a long time ago, and with a set. I can't remember the name of the set right now, but the colors kind of seemed matched, and I had to cut a little bit off right here, but I was fine with that to make it fit right. And see, then you have somewhere you can journal right there. So it's just going to be a fun journal. I can't wait to put in more stuff and get it all sewn in and just different things. Here is a piece of that vellum. If you was able to get your hands on some of that very vellum that I was showing you, I just throwed a piece right here. You can sew stuff on that or just leave it for prettiness. And then here is one of the invitation cards for a party that I would send out for Stampin' Up! Parties and all. I have an abundance of them, so I just took one and stuck it in my journal, and I had it down here, but when I get ready to do the pamphlet stitch, I will line up everything, these little smaller pieces, to where I would get the most stitching. So it would probably be the top or the bottom, because I want at least to get 2 of those stitches in there when I do that pamphlet stitch. But here is a piece of that magazine, our brochure that we have from last year celebration, and I just took and folded it because these colors are just beautiful. And see, because it was to like 2 pages, and I cut that down a little bit and left this page long. So, and some of that music paper, and that's the inside, the center of the signature. And then you have the back side to go through all, and it'll be 30 more pages. Oh, I didn't cut this one. I have it folded too. So, but yes, I really been loving how this is coming along so far, and I can't wait to do more. I'm hoping that I can do that today. Some more on it, but I do want to do some cards and share with y'all too in another live today. But I wanted to get, because I've been promising to show y'all this journal, how it's coming so far and what I've done. I haven't worked on it as much as I would have liked to or should have, but I love how this is all doing. And look at that stamp set out of that old celebration book. So you can cover that up, and you don't have to cover this up. You can sit here and just have it like that, you know. I don't know. Just do whatever you want with it. And then this one has a little tear in it, but I'm not too worried, because I'll probably come over and paper something right here and paper something there, so that little tear in this page, it isn't gonna hurt. Yep. But this little journal I made to get where I can get lots of inspiration out of it. I made it for myself. I've not made a journal for myself, so this will be mine. Isn't that just gorgeous? And I just hope that encourages you to give this a try. If you have this paper and want to follow along, if you have other paper, that's fine. But if you need some of this paper, let me know. And this was in the annual catalog, this one here. So that is where I'm at with this. So I'm going to try to come live again in a few minutes when I get prepared and get set up to do some cards, or a couple, maybe I'm on one for sure, but maybe I can get 2 in, cards or tags or something. I want to do something fun today. Well, thank y'all for tuning in, and I hope y'all enjoyed this, and stay tuned for more upcoming videos. I know they're several days apart, but you know, I'm gonna try to keep them coming. Thank y'all, and have a blessed evening.